Hey guys, Ramblin Bob here again with an update with the E3600LFP. Boy, all these numbers in my head. Okay, so the E3600LFP by Pecron. So I've been using this system for quite a while now. Every single day. This is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's going to be like I have the E2000LFP. Just a reminder for everybody that I still use that system, except that's for our RV now, and this one's for the house. I still didn't get my 2 extra batteries. I'm still waiting. Pecron said hopefully, I think they said like mid-October now they should be delivered. So I gotta wait. No hurry, but I want them, you know, like a kid in a candy store. I just wanted to show you guys, I was able to pick up, while I was waiting for that, I was able to pick up, if you guys remember, I had one of these strings that was 4 REC 400 watt panels. I like them. They're all black. They look gorgeous. You know, they don't look like solar panels. They stick off to the side there, and you know, most people don't even know what they are. They look at it and they think it's this, you know, like, what's that? You know, a piece of board for construction or something, because they're so black and they don't look like traditional solar panels. So I liked them so much, I reached out to my contact in this state, and I found that they had 4 more. So they were able to deliver me 4 more, and now I have 8 REC 400 watt panels. I like them a lot. I can't fully test them though, because the situation that we have, you know, can only go up to certain volts and everything. So if I had like a grid system or something like that, then you could, you know, push them all the way up to, you know, you can, you know, push the volts up to, you know, the limit of whatever your grid system is. But mine is 150, so I can only do 3 in sets. So what I'm doing is series parallel on this one and this one. So I have 2 like this and 2 like this, and then here 2 like this and 2 like this, and then I put them together like this, and then they run parallel. So series, 2 of them together at 80 volts, 2 of them series 80 volts, and then I run them parallel into one string. And then I did the same for over here. Now notice I'm getting 1820 watts. These are big numbers for me, guys. I'm not used to seeing this kind of power come in. So 1830 watts, and we're gonna watch it in real time, maybe 15 minutes to a half an hour. You're gonna see this go up in real time, because it's just now getting to the edge of that panel of this series. So this is basically a 200 watt panel I just have laying outside, so I figure might as well use it. I have an extra port, test it out, right? This is the 80 volts coming in, and then you can see that the working volts is just about 70. Now notice that this working volts is less, even though they're the exact same panels. 2 reasons for that. Number one, these are angled like this. Let's see, like that, so they're really good for the sun up there. But these are actually they're vertical. Let me see, like that. So when the sun's up here, it hits, you know, much different angle. Not to mention, the corner of these are still in the shadow from the building. So I wanted to see on video how fast. I'm sorry. These are the ones that are like this, and these are the ones that are in the shadow. So reverse that, what I just said. It's hard to keep track of all this stuff, guys. But I love these little meters, because it makes it easy, because you can see obviously this one's got more, so that's got to be the one that's better angle. So you're gonna see this jump up in probably the next 10 or 15 minutes, but I wanted to catch it on video just so you can see the kind of power you could bring in this. This is crazy. Like, I never thought that the portable systems would be able to bring in this kind of power. You know, we started with a very small power station, the old Milan 640, and we thought that was a cat's meow, and obviously this can crush that. We still like the E1500. We like the E600. We like the E3. We like most of the Pecron products, except the older ones that had the lithium ion batteries. That's why I didn't like those. Except that what was it? The E3000, I think, had lithium. I liked the idea of it, but if it had lithium iron phosphate, so this is basically what that was, except way bigger inverter and much bigger input for solar and everything. So okay, so these still have 69.9, so that's about 70 volts working and 80 open circuit. And then remember, this is only at 60.5. So notice, I'm sorry, it's going the other way around, sorry. Boy, I always because I had them reversed the other day, and then I swapped them. So as soon as this one gets out of the shade, this should jump up to possibly close to that. But you're going to see this 1820, see 1837. See, I just went up 17 watts. Here, I'll put it this way so you can see it a little bit better here. See, now you can see these big numbers. Or here's another one, guys. If you just hit this and hit the simple mode, this is pretty sweet. See how it's got the big numbers here? So 1834. See how it's going up a lot now? It's really starting, because it should just be and then this is extra power because we're already 82%, and I'm going to feel this with ease today. So I'm putting this much power, I think about 650 to the E3600LFP to fill that 8 kilowatts, because I don't know where to go with the power now. So that's believe me, that's an awesome thing. Oh, see how it's going up 1850. So it's just about to open up that last panel to the sun. I think it's like if you look on this camera here, it's like this little corner right here is in the shadow, and when this little corner is in the shadow, it destroys the power of this panel and the one next to it, because they're in series. So you know, both of them. That's the only big drawback with series. See how it's going up? It's steadily going. It destroys, like parallel works better sometimes and series works better sometimes. All depends on the situation you have. In our situation, we have to wait until the sun moves so both of the panels can be 100% in the sun. Otherwise, like I said, the voltage hurts the other one, because one is high voltage, one is low, and then basically it, you know, pulls the other one down, and then you have bad voltage. So here 1850, let me see what it's actually getting here. These meters are absolutely the cat's meow, guys, because let me show you something here. Give me a second. Just watch this here. Guys, I don't know where I put, oh, it's over here, okay. I got so much stuff for solar here, guys. So these 3 meters replaced these. 3 of these, because if you'd have to have one per, you know, these cost me, I think they were like 15 bucks a piece or so. I got 4 of these. I think I got 5 total. Yeah, maybe I got 5 anyway. But that replaced these, and I had to put these MC4s on there. I had to, you know, modify them, put them on there, because they only come with like straight lines. So I had to make 3 of these just to work on these 3 lines. And now that they're built in the system, holy awesome, guys. Now you don't have to fight so hard in order to you know, to verify and check and make sure if your polarity was wrong, these wouldn't show up any voltage, right? So you have your polarity checking, and then you have your open circuit voltage when the system's not charging. It'll show you what the open circuit is when you first plug it in, and then it'll go down to the working, like, see, this is the actual working voltage. This is a 24 volt panel. These are 80 volts, remember, series parallel. That's a lot of panels, guys. 1600 watts per array, series parallel. So that's 3200 watts, and then that's 200, so 34. And then don't forget, you could also put 400 watts on each battery. That's another 1600 watts. You're going to see this bring in power like that. See, it's almost 1900 watts. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot of power. And then, like I said, if you brought in another, what was it, 1600, that's 4150 watts if you added everything together. That's a crazy amount of numbers, guys. That's almost like to the point of like very dangerous power, because the amount of amps we're bringing in. We're bringing up to 20 amps on this string and up to 20 amps on this. As you can see, it's 17. You can see we're getting a lot more power on this string, because remember, that's the one that's this way, and this is the one that's vertical. So that's a huge difference. And this in real time shows you the vast power difference between how you angle your panels. That's very important, guys. If you're off 5 degrees, that you could lose a lot of power. You know, a couple degrees, you could lose a lot of power. So you can see that this is 90 degrees straight down, and this is, I want to say, about 45 degrees. So this is very good for fall and spring in my part of the world here. But this is only good for very, very hard winter, but it's the only place I could put 1600 watt array of panels. That's a lot of panels, guys. They're like 75 inches by 42, I think. That's a lot of and then there's 4 of those. So you have to have a lot. You know, you guys remember that old video I made where I put the 4 on the fence? You know, for like mobile safety, like the emergency thing. Well, that's what I'm using right now. I put 4 on the fence you know, until I get a permanent place to put them, or figure out a place to put them better. But that's why the voltage is only 12. I'm sorry, the amperage is only 12, and this is all the way up to 17. If this was already 17, you'd be pulling in that 1000 watts on both strings. I want to see if I could hit 2000 here. Here, 1971, guys. What I'll do is, now that we see this, I'll go back to the home and I'll go back to simple. don't worry, you'll get real fast with the buttons. See, look at this. We're going to pass 2,000 watts. I'm hoping on video today I can max it out to 2,400 watts. But remember, that's also with this little guy. I don't know what this little guy's bringing in. Oh, here, 1992, guys. Look at this, 1990. 1985 was a good year. Good year, 1992. All right, we got to wait here. And then, you know, don't forget, I'm also pulling out 800 watts. And you can hear me. I'm not talking loud. I'm talking normal. I just ramble a lot. But you can hear that the fans are not bad at all. You can hear them kind of spike up a little bit and then go back down. But like here, if I put my hand... Oh, here, 2,000. Look at that. 2,000. Yeah, buddy. Now it's going up pretty quick. Remember when we started this, I think it was like 1,800 watts. So this is just kind of another teaser video to where, you know, people can see in real time the crazy amount of power that you could put in this thing. Like, this is way more than I thought I'd ever get for a mobile system. I thought I was gonna, like, when I hit 1,000 watts input, guys, on my systems, I thought, holy cow, I made it. That's the best. And then like I always said on this channel, solar power is very addictive. So like oh man, it's like candy in a candy store for a kid. So once you eat one piece, you want to go back and have 10. So once you get that 100 watts, then you want 2, then you want 4, then you want 8, then you want it seems to never stop, you know, until your equipment like limits you to where you can't do anything else. But here, 2,047, and then we'll check again here. Let's see up here, and then that'll, so we're getting see how the amperage is starting to go up now? So we have almost 14 amps on the second string, which is the vertical ones, and then these are the I think they're like 45 degrees, but notice that we got 17. So once we can get that 17, we should be able to pass that maybe 2,200 watts. But like I said, I'm trying to get to 2,400 watts just to show you what you could do with this main box. Now, some people said, now this is a report of someone, one of the subscribers had mentioned that they have this system and they could only get approximately I think 90 or 100 watts on this port. The most that I was able to get on this port, I think, was 133. I think that's the number I hit. I put it in a comment on the channel, but I'm pretty sure that's what I hit. So that's a touch of it. Remember, guys, this is only 7 amps input. So that's your max. So if you're only bringing in, you know, 15 volts times 7, you know, that kind of limits your power. So the higher you can get the volts on this one, remember, you can go up to 30 volts on this one. So that's a nice little chunk of power there. You can put a little bigger panel there than a 200. That comes in, a 200 comes in at 24 volts, but if that was a 48 volt panel, that would be too much. Yeah, see, that's the hard part about these ports, is the limitations of them. So this one you got to really, you know, like test and trial and error this one. Right now we have 88 because this one is 100% flat. So this string is like this string is like this, and this string is like this. So we have one test of either angle just because that's what we have, you know what I mean? This one's on a vehicle, this one's on the fence, and this is on an actual structure. But so it's 3 different places. Like I said, if you could put all that power in one spot, obviously that would be optimal, but it's not going to happen unless you have either a ton of property or a ton of space to put it. So it is just what it is. So here we're 14 amps, so we're actually getting up. This is 17.4, and remember, this is only 11 o'clock in the morning, so solar should just now be starting. 11 to I think 11 to 5, 11 to 4. Well, it's actually, I think, like 10:30 it starts real good until I think 3:30. So there's like a 5-hour window, but it all depends on where you are in the world and you know, what kind of equipment you have, of course. But let's just keep watching here. So 10:35, 9:32, 14 amps, 17.3, and see, this is only getting 5.7. So that's the problem with this one, is you have to get a panel that puts out, you know, better amps. So if say you had a panel that could put out like 13 amps, this system, or any system for the most part, will limit the amps input. You just have to make sure that the voltage is good. So this port's a pain in the butt. You really have to learn and experiment with this port. These ports are monsters. You know, like I was even shocked that they didn't put XT90s on here, because I mean, you're bringing in 1200 and 1200, and then you got that parallel thing like this where you could bring in 40 amps and use them both in parallel. That's an awesome system, guys, as far as what we need. I mean, this is overkill for what we need, for sure. All right, let's see, 122 degrees temperature on the board, but that's fine because remember, we're putting through, oh, see, it's going up again, 925. We're putting through, let's go back this way so you can see it a little bit better, guys. There you go. So 2058 here, and like I said, you're going to start seeing this go up just inch like this now, because this is optimal time for our setup. Remember, if we would have better setup depending on where the panels are, you know, the sun is your friend, and it's not. It's always moving, so you have to have the optimal time and place for your panels. That's the biggest drawback with solar is, like we used to call everybody that, you know, goes out and move their panel every couple hours sun chasers. You know, they used to go out, and when we were running those, we used to go out and move our panels every couple hours to, you know, try to get the most power in. And that's back when we were getting, you know, 40, 50, 60, 100 watts in, and we were like, oh, look at this, we're getting power in. And now look at this, we're bringing in over 2,000 like it's candy. Like, this will be every day now, as long as the sun shines. This will be over 2,000 every day, and this is only 9,000, which means we can charge this whole thing in about 4.5 hours, give or take, probably 5. And then as soon as we get the other batteries, that gives you a 7.5 hour window to be able to charge everything. But remember, if you put the other 1,600 watts on all 4 batteries, 400 on each battery, if we have the time, space, and panels to do that, you up to 4,000, and that means you could charge this in a solar day. That is ideal, because whatever battery bank you have, if you can get it completely full in a solar day, that means you're winning. So you always want to have more solar than what you have for battery packs, because on cloudy days or less sunny days, or I don't know, if the sun just doesn't come up one day, who knows, you know. Little Orphan Annie sang that song, that's, you know, the sun will always come out tomorrow or something like that, or you know, who knows nowadays. Here we're almost at 2100. It's kind of peaking and going, so you can see that last little corner like this, it's probably just going like that, and it's just inching away, and that's why it's climbing real slow right there. So remember, we were at 1800 and now we're at 2065. I'll keep bouncing back and forth so you can see in real time the little meters. These are awesome, guys. These are worth the weight in gold for sure. And then you have your temperature, and then you have your total power here. I just don't know if you can see that, though. It's a little hard to see because it's small. But we got 66.6 volts on that string, and then we have 59.8 volts on this string, and then we have 15.5 volts on. See, I wish I could put that up to 30 volts, and that would run a lot cleaner, a lot better. Let me know what you guys are getting on this one. Like I said, ours is in a really bad way. It's flat, so we're not going to see anything near anything close to 150. We're lucky we got that much. You know, normally we get about 80, 85 on this one. And then, unless we turn the panel. Like when I tested the 200 watt and I aimed it right at the sun, we were able to get 133. But the way this panel is now, it's kind of stuck at a very low wattage. Let's see here, 2076. So it is still inching up. I figure I'll let this video go maybe to 11:15, something like that, and we're just kind of see maybe 11:30. If we get excited here, we some good numbers. Maybe, or I'll pause it and we can hop back in. I just don't want to make the videos too long. But I love rambling with you guys. This is my favorite hobby in the whole world now. So this and RC cars, and now I get to combine them. You know, drones, RC cars, RC boats, you can combine them and use this mobile. And that's, I mean, that's the cat's meow. You don't have to bring generators anymore. Matter of fact, just the other day I helped a neighbor, and he had a Honda EU 2000i, which that's what I have. But he's got the newer version with the nicer gas cap and everything. But, you know, same motor pretty much. And except mine's 10 years old. And I showed him my battery setup in my van, and I'm like, well, I got up to 8,000 watt hours in my van, so I could run all day, you know, power tools and stuff outside, and you know, I got 1,000 watts of solar on top of that, so whenever I drive somewhere, I can charge while I'm driving or while I'm working, or, you know, anything. I mean, that's crazy. You can't do that with a motor. You don't want to run a motor while you're driving. You don't want to run a motor in an unsafe spot. You got to worry about the gas, all the explosion, all the bad stuff. So this stuff, look, I'm sitting right next to it. There's no effect on me. I don't know about the EMF though. I'm not a good person to like teach or understand electromagnetic field. I mean, everything that has electronics in it obviously has an EMF field. I don't have a meter. But yeah, here 2080 almost. So let's see if we can get that up there. This one dropped down really far to 60 volts. I wonder why. It could be a little bit less sunny out there. Oh yeah, it's a little tiny bit less sunny, but you see, you're, like I say, you're under the boy, what's the West word? You under boy, my brain locked up here. I can't think. You're under the power of the sun, I guess. I don't know the best way to say it, but you know, whatever the sun gives you, you have to take. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't go up and move the sun or move the clouds out of the way. So that's the crazy part. I wish you could. Well, I wish you could blow the clouds out of the way for a couple hours. That'd be awesome. Here, 2080. So it's definitely going to go up. Let's go back to the simple. Guys, you're going to like this screen. This is my favorite part of this whole system, I think. But that's hard to say because I love the inverter, I love the input for the solar, and I love the screen. This one I've never used yet, guys. It's just going to sit there, I have a feeling. One of the subscribers gave me a great idea that I overlooked, is to get one of those, I think I mentioned in the last video, but she gave me the idea. She put a, I want to say it was Sharon. She put one of those big weird circle things here, and it goes down to one of these, and that way you can plug in a normal plug-in in this big thing. I'm sure they make a very small adapter. We could just, you know, extend it out, but these wires might be in the way, so you'd have to kind of go like that and extend it out a little bit, and then maybe it's got one of these ports so you can make that a fifth. I'd love to do that. Like, I don't want the, you know, the dangly one, because that puts pressure on there, but if I could have like a short one that you plug in there, and then it's got the, like the 110 traditional port right on the end of it, so it sticks out maybe like 3 or 4 inches, or maybe even less, that would be ideal, because then I could have that extra port if I need it. That's awesome. Otherwise, this is going to stay covered, guys. I just don't need it. Here, we're almost at 2100. We're getting there. We're getting there. I don't know how much more it's going to take to get that solar out of the way. But yeah, you're going to absolutely love the screen, guys. When you get yours, it's awesome. Here's your output for your AC. And remember, I'm using about almost, I think it's like 650 to 700. I'm just power dumping into another station because, like I said, I have nowhere to go with it now. I have nowhere to go with it. So I'm just trying to put it in the E3600LFP, and then I can take that either in the RV or the van or car or whatever, and then take that anywhere and set it up. You can set it up in the park and have 8,000 watt hours in a park. I mean, talk about awesome. You can have music and all kinds of stuff. And then here's your voltage, your frequency, here's your temperature, and then here's your button. Sorry, guys. Here's your AC. So this acts as the button. If you actually hit that button, all the AC turns off. So don't hit the button, guys. Okay, and then here's your DC, which I'm not using. I don't use DC very much, guys. If I do, I use these little guys here. I wish that Pecron would have put 100 watt any Audi and 100 watt any Audi, or 2 of them right here. But they put 100 and an 18. I'm not a fan of that. This one I'm not a fan of. I wish it was 200s. Like my Oukitel has 2 100 watt Audis. I love that. I love that. But the E3600LFP and the E500LFP have any Audis. I like that because then you could power dump, if you had to or want to, energy in through here. You know, just in case. I think that's a good backup plan. I really do. Yeah, it's not needed with this kind of power coming in, but you know, the more the ports, the better, I think. Even ports I don't use, it's good to have them because, you know, one day you might decide to use them. Who knows? All right, what do we have here? 2092, so we're getting there. I'll try to do the video. Let me go check the security camera and see where the panels are. That's a good thing too, guys. If you have security systems or cameras or anything that you're not using, aim them towards the panel so you can always check them 24 hours a day without having to go outside. You can see if there's a problem. You can see if there's a shadow. You can see if there's any kind of an issue or you know, whatever. Here, 2110. So watch this. Here, I'll put it on the big screen so you can see it better. This one. Okay, so here, watch here just for a second. I'm going to check and see. It should be almost out. As you can see, it's been creeping up. Here, 2100. That's a lot of power, guys. That's going to charge that in no time. 2100 watts. All right, give me a second, okay? Okay, so the entire panel is in the sun, except like I said, it's 90 degrees, so it's like this. I don't know the best way to put it. It's like this, like straight up and down, you know, like this line. It's straight up and down, but the sun is like way over here, which it's hard to do on video, but it's like at a 45-degree angle still, which is not good for solar. But like I said, that's the only situation that I could put them, because you know, where the heck are you gonna put let's see, what I got 1600 on one array, 1600 on another array, that's 200, and then I have another 1000 on a vehicle. I got another 600. Like, you know, where do you put all these panels? You can turn into a solar farm, you know. But let's see here. Yep, 2090. So I don't know if that's going to max it out for today. It could be the time though. I'd like to do this again maybe at like 12 or 1 o'clock. You know what I'll do, guys? I'll pause it for a minute, and then I'll come back at about 12 or 1 if this goes up any higher. So we hit, that's our record so far, 2100, and I would like to see this at 2400 and possibly 2550. But I like I said, I don't think I'm going to get very good on that. I'm at 90 watts tops right now, at 89, so it's just bouncing on, well, years ago that was great power, but now look at this, 1048 and 936. That's good power. I got to get these amps up to this, but I think that's the angle difference. You see the big difference here, guys? 17.7 amps and 14.5. That's a big difference in amps coming in. If you were to get that other 3, that would be 200 watts higher. So, okay, I'm gonna pause the video here, guys, and then I'm gonna put it on simple mode, and I can watch it. And as soon as it goes up higher, I'll turn the camera back on. All right, I'll be back. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back, and it is 11:55, so it's right about noon, of course. I was able to max it out at 2200 watts, and then here's the problem. So with solar, there's always a headache. So the ones that I have on the fence line now, as you can see, it dropped down almost 200 watts, which is why I wanted to continue the video. Then I'll make another one later, hopefully, doing the same test. But I was able to get 2200. You saw that on video. And then what happened is, just as this side of the panels became unshady, that side became shady because of the neighbor's tree. So that's the biggest headache when it comes to solar power, is it just takes one branch or one tree. Like there's just like, you remember how it was over on this side, guys, and it was just a little corner and it finally finished, and then you got, you know, pretty good power, but the sun was still on an angle. Well, now it's over on this side and it's starting to come back in, and that's the shade of that darn tree. So I'm gonna call this a win for today, because I hit my 2000 mark. That's all I was aiming for, but I could have done a lot more had I had better angles. And I don't think I can reposition these, because unless I can cut down that tree. I wish that, neighbor, if you call me, I'll cut it down for free. I promise. I'll cut the whole thing down. But that's one part, you know, that you can cut trees that go over your property, but when they're on your neighbor's property, there you got to ask permission and stuff, you know. But that's what's holding me back today, guys. As you can see, I'm pulling out now 1250 watts, because it's at 94%. So it was going to max out, and I had nowhere to put the energy. So on one string, I'm actually running a power dumping into the E3600LFP, and the other string I have going to another power station with UPS, and that's running the air conditioner in the other part of the building. So a little 5,000 BTU. So I'm pulling out 1200, plus all the lights and the laptops and the TVs and the tools that are in the shop too. So yeah, I'm gonna have to call this a wash for today. It was great, because I hit my 2000. I didn't think I'd ever do a 2000 watt video input. I mean, that's guys, that's right now I think that's 16.5 cents per kilowatt hour in my area. So that's 32 cents an hour I get free from the sun. It doesn't sound like a lot. It's $1.50 a day, but take $1.50 and times it by 30, right? That's 45 bucks a month. Times that by 12. Man, you almost got 600 bucks a month savings, right? That's a decent, about 550, something like that. That's a good savings for a year. And remember, that's free. That's 100% free energy from the sun, once you buy all the equipment, of course. That's the catch. But all right, I'm gonna leave it at this, guys. And like I said, it's gonna go back down. Let me show you what's happening here, just so you can see in full. So remember, this one used to be, I think it was like 14 or I think yeah, 14.4 amps. Now notice that the amps, they're going up and down. Oh, see, now it's back to 1,000. So it all depends on that branch. So you maybe you see it in real time here before I see here 2200. Yeah, you're seeing it in real time, guys. That darn tree over there. So the branches are probably going like this with the wind. That's probably what's going. See, See 20, see it drop down? So that was 1,000 watts and now it's 850. So as soon as the wind blows, of course the branch goes out of the way possibly, or vice versa. But this one is very solid, very steady, because this one we have set on a 45-degree angle. It's still not straight with the sun until maybe about 1 o'clock, then it'll be perfect. But this one is the weak link of the system. Obviously this one's up to 95 watts now. But like I said, that's flat on a vehicle, so that's just I just tried to put something in there, you know, just throw something in there. But this is my big dog right now, 1100 watts straight. And when I used this originally, like the best time of the day, I used to get, well, you guys saw it, I got 1200 watts on this one easy. So that one maxed out, which was the original string. Now this is the new string, but that's on the fence. So as you can see, so darn fence. All right. Well, ramble on, be safe, and I'll see you guys here again on future tests of the E3600LFP. I like this system, guys. I do. All right, bye, guys.